Excuse me. Okay, we're sitting in the home of Joe and Mary Lee Cook in Texoma, Oklahoma. And Joe is a veteran, and I mean a real veteran. How old were you when you went in? What year did you go in?
I went in 44 when I was 17.
44 and 17. Were you out of high school already?
No.
Did you have a little argument at home about leaving high school to go join the Army or the Navy?
Yeah. Well, to be honest about it, I was getting in a little mischief. And Dad knew about it, and Mother didn't. So Dad said he'd sign the papers, and Mother threw the fit with that. Dad said, well, there's a war on, they need young men. And I had an older brother in the Navy, so I really want to get in, you know, and, you know, a lot of guys, the guys were going, and, you know, you kind of felt left out of it, and yet, you know, I look back and I wonder if there was part of it was a sense of duty for the country, and I'm sure it was, but a lot of it was, I suppose at 17 was kind of an adventure too, you know.
Pretty gutty adventure to go into, I'll tell you, to go into a war that, you did realize even at that time, didn't you, that this was going to be a long war?
Well, I wasn't long to find out them Japs didn't like us.
Yeah. Did you also find out they weren't a pushover?
No, they weren't a pushover. You know, you can't judge the size of the country on the map against the size of our country. It has not very much to do with military strength and determination. They had to take over the Pacific.
So you went to Navy boot camp, and then were you assigned directly to a ship?
Yeah.
Same ship that you were with in the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
And what ship was that?
The USS Briscoe, PA-65, was part of the amphibious Philippine Liberation.
So is that, in terms of size, is that a small ship, a medium size, or a big ship?
Well, it's a pretty good sized ship. Yeah. We had, I forget how many of those landing craft boats that the men and their equipment get in, and you'd take them into the beach, and the ramps would come down, they'd run out. You've probably seen movies how they do that. And we had those big boat davits that let these down.
And am I remembering right that all of your ship's active campaigns were against the Japanese over in the Japanese theater?
Yeah.
So did you get into a combat situation pretty quick after you joined your ship?
Well, yeah, we left the Golden Gate Bridge, sailed out front of that just before sunset one evening. 28 days later, after running a zigzag course and a submarine been on our tail, we ended up at Atlantia, New Guinea.
And were you hauling Marines or soldiers?
This was Army, yeah, soldiers and their equipment, yeah. And basically our biggest cargo was high octane gasoline in drums.
Oh man, that's a dangerous cargo.
You don't get torpedoed with that.
Woo! You've been a firebomb.
We unloaded at Atlantia, New Guinea. And them old Army 6x6 trucks, you know, we loaded on them, and they hauled it back into the jungle somewhere where they had a airstrip, camouflage airstrip. And so
that was 1944, maybe?
That was spring of 45.
Spring of 45.
Yeah. And so we traveled over there by ourselves, so we just cycled. But they had a convoy there of other ships, and so we joined that convoy when we left there at one evening, and I don't know how far we'd got, but we was heading for the Philippines. That's where the troops were going to go. And we were traveling in a pretty close convoy, and then one of our ships got torpedoed, blew up, scared the daylights out of us.
During the time you were on that ship, did it ever get a torpedo or a strafing of any kind?
No, the ship had been, it was almost a new ship. It went out once to the Pacific and got damaged and came back to be repaired, and that's when I went aboard the ship as a replacement. And so then we headed out. But anyway, when we had one of our ships in a convoy torpedoed, we got orders to split up. Any ship that could make over so many knots, just take off. And you know, you just outrun the submarine basically. And then the destroyers and destroyer escorts stayed to protect the LSTs, and we had some of those. They only go about 10-12 knots maybe, and some Liberty ships and some, you know, cargo, and they stayed to protect them. And I don't know, you know, if there's any other ships torpedoed or not. You know.
I'm assuming you were one of the youngest sailors on that ship.
Yeah, I was. Pretty young guy.
Did you get picked on, or babied, or
no,
either one?
No, I had a boatswain mate that from his name was Doug Claiborne from Sebring, Oklahoma. I don't know, maybe Sebring. Dewey, he was from Dewey, Oklahoma, and it's close to Bartlesville. And he kind of took a liking to me, and they were needing somebody to for a watch on the stern to steer the ship. He called me Cookie. He said, "Cookie," he said, "why don't you try it for that watch?" He said. I said, "Well, I wouldn't know anything about steering the ship." "Oh," he said, "you come off the farm, you've drove trucks and combines and tractors and things." I said, "Yeah." Well, he said, "I think you could do it." He said, "It'd be a lot better watch for you than sitting there in the gun tub looking out through binoculars all night, you know, in the rain and so forth." He said, "You'd be inside, it'd be a better watch for you." So I said, "All right, I'll try out." So I went up there, and I forget how many of us tried out, but several. And they really only needed 2. And so I got my turn at the helm to steer, and they gave me a new course to steer. And so I cranked the helm. Well, it's just kind of like power steering, except nothing happens. You turn, and you got to understand it. That rudder compared to the size of the ship,
pretty small.
This don't happen right now. And so anyway, it started swinging, you know, and I was getting close to my new course, and so, well, I better start bringing it back. And I brought it back and brought it back and so the ship kept swinging. So then the next order they gave me to change. Why? They liked a good clean change of direction. Well, I cranked it good and got it swinging, and I knew enough when to start bringing it back, and I brought it back right on course, and they picked me as one of them.
All right.
Actually,
we're starting to run short on time on this one. I think we'll close it, and that's pretty remarkable. Be a 17, 18-year-old kid and end up being in charge of keeping the ship on course.
Yeah.
It's quite a compliment that guy from Oklahoma knew another Okie would know how to do it. I think it was a little bit of Oklahoma pride.
Yeah, might be.